The cold Seattle morning began like every other day for 35-year-old Mark Dawson. Before the sun had fully risen, he was already awake, preparing pancakes for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Their tiny apartment was old and worn, but it was always clean because Mark believed that, even when life was difficult, a home should still feel warm and welcoming. After helping Lily get dressed for school, he carefully packed her lunch with a peanut butter sandwich, an apple, and a handwritten note that simply read, "Dad loves you, have an amazing day." Lily smiled, hugged him tightly, and ran toward the school bus, waiting until it disappeared around the corner. Once she left, reality returned. A stack of unpaid bills waited on the kitchen counter. Red was overdue. The electricity payment was due in 3 days, and his aging pickup truck desperately needed repairs. Mark sighed quietly, folded the bills, and slipped them back into the drawer. Worrying wouldn't earn money, working would. He grabbed his delivery bag, climbed into his truck, and spent the entire day driving across Seattle, delivering groceries and restaurant orders. Every customer saw a polite smile, but none of them knew the man behind it was fighting every single day just to keep his little family afloat. As evening approached, dark clouds rolled across the city, and heavy rain began pouring onto the streets. The roads became crowded as office workers hurried home, while tourists searched for shelter inside expensive hotels and luxury shopping centers. Mark accepted one final delivery request before ending his shift. After handing over the food to a customer near an upscale downtown hotel, he walked back toward his truck, completely soaked from the rain. Just before opening the driver's door, something unusual caught his attention. Near the curb, partly hidden beneath a parked black SUV, lay a dark leather wallet. At first, he assumed someone would come running back for it, so he waited several minutes scanning the busy sidewalk. No one appeared finally. He picked it up to see if there was any identification inside. The moment he opened it, his heart nearly stopped. The wallet was packed with neatly folded $100 bills. There was so much cash that it barely closed tuck. Behind the money were several platinum credit cards and an identification card belonging to Emily Carter, a famous New York technology entrepreneur attending a business conference in Seattle. Mark estimated there had to be around $40,000 inside. He stood frozen in the rain. His hands trembled slightly as countless thoughts rushed to his mind. That money could change everything. He could pay every overdue bill, replace his unreliable truck, buy Lily new clothes, and even start a college savings account for her future. For the first time in years, he imagined what life without constant financial stress might feel like. Then another thought entered his mind. He remembered the promise he had made beside his wife's hospital bed years earlier that no matter how hard life became, he would raise Lily to be proud of the man her father was if he kept the wallet. He might solve his financial problems, but he would lose something far more valuable: his integrity. Without another moment of hesitation, Mark closed the wallet, placed it safely inside his delivery bag, and searched the identification card for Emily Carter's hotel. Although it meant losing several hours of work and the chance to earn more money, that night he started his truck and drove toward downtown. He had no idea that this simple decision, made in the middle of a rainy Seattle evening, was about to change his life forever. Mark arrived at the luxury hotel just as the rain began to slow. The marble lobby was filled with business executives, tourists, and hotel staff moving from one place to another. His soap jacket and worn work boots drew a few curious looks, but he ignored them, walking confidently to the front desk. He explained that he had found a wallet belonging to Emily Carter. At first, the receptionist looked doubtful, but after checking the identification details, she immediately contacted Emily, who had been frantically searching for her missing wallet for nearly an hour. A few minutes later, Emily hurried into the lobby with a worried expression. The moment she saw the wallet in Mark's hands, relief washed over her face. She quickly opened it and counted the cash. Every dollar was still there. Nothing was missing, looking at Mark in disbelief. She asked why he had returned it. Instead of keeping the money, Mark simply smiled and replied, "Because it wasn't mine. My daughter is watching everything I do, even when she's not standing beside me. I want her to grow up believing that honesty matters." Emily was deeply moved by his answer. She pulled out several $1,000s and offered it as a reward, insisting that he accept it. Mark politely shook his head. "Thank you, but I didn't return your wallet for money. I just did what I hope anyone would do." Emily couldn't remember the last time someone had refused such a generous reward before leaving. She asked for his name, and Mark introduced himself. Before quietly walking back into the rainy Seattle night, something about him stayed in Emily's thoughts. She had built a billion-dollar technology company and had met thousands of ambitious people, but she had rarely encountered someone with such genuine integrity the following morning. Curiosity got the better of her. Instead of flying back to New York immediately, she asked a trusted assistant to help her quietly learn more about Mark. What they discovered over the next 2 days completely changed the way Emily viewed success. Mark wasn't simply an honest man. He worked 3 different jobs every week. Just to support Lily, he often skipped lunch, so she could have healthier meals. On weekends, he volunteered at a neighborhood food pantry, helping families who were struggling even more. Then his own elderly neighbors spoke warmly of him, explaining that he regularly fixed broken fences, carried groceries, and shoveled snow without ever accepting payment. No one had asked him to do these things. He simply believed that helping others was the right thing to do. Emily also learned that years earlier, Mark had sold almost everything he owned to pay for Lily's emergency heart surgery. After insurance failed to cover the full cost, he had never started an online fundraiser or asked strangers for donations. Instead, he quietly worked longer hours and sacrificed his own comfort to give his daughter another chance at life. Sitting in her hotel suite that evening, Emily realized that the richest person she had met in Seattle wasn't measured by money or business success. It was the exhausted single father who had chosen honesty over $40,000. She made a life-changing decision. Without telling Mark, she paid off his overdue rent, arranged for his truck to be replaced through a local charity, and invited him to interview for a leadership role at her foundation, which helped single parents rebuild their lives. When Mark later received the unexpected call, he believed it was a mistake. He had no idea that one act of honesty, on a rainy evening, had opened the door to a future he had never dared to imagine.